This is Counterpoint, and I'm Tanya Granick-Allen. We all recall the Freedom Convoy and how it represented the opposition to the vaccine mandates imposed across Canada. But before the truckers stood up to the mandates, one business owner in Toronto famously stood up and stood out: Adamson BBQ. Remember Adam Skelly? He was the Toronto owner of the chain Adamson BBQ in Ontario, who defied the dining and masking mandates and, in turn, was then arrested and charged for this act of defiance. Well, today we are pleased to welcome Adam Skelly himself, who will walk us through his case and tell us where things stand. Also joining will be Chris Weisdorf, co-founder and a director of the Concerned Constituents of Canada. And while he's not a lawyer, paralegal, or legal professional, nor is he a licensee of any law society, due to his past litigation experience, he became involved in Adam's case. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today. Really excited to dive in and see how things are.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Tanya.
Well, Adam, let's
Thank
start with you. I vividly recall seeing images of you in handcuffs in Toronto, not too far from where I grew up, arrested for defying the mandates. For our viewers who may have blocked out any COVID trauma or experiences from their minds, please share with us how you went from a business owner in operator to a business owner in handcuffs.
Good question, Tanya. Yeah, so in 2020, I opened my second and third restaurant early in 2020. I was highly leveraged, and the first wave of lockdowns came through, and we complied, but it had a drastic hit to my business. My sales were down about 60%. When it came to November of 2020, and the talk was in the air of another round of lockdowns. By this point, I was wise to what was happening with the PCR test, the hospitals not being as overwhelmed as was originally advertised, and a lot of other things that made me question the official COVID narrative. So I said, if they're going to open up again, if they're going to lock us down again, I'm going to open up in defiance. I got together with a group of 6 other restaurant owners, and we all planned to do it together. At the last minute, the rest of them backed out. So I did it myself. I stayed open for 3 days. The first 2 days, I received a number of fines. On the third day, my building was seized by the Minister of Health for Toronto, Eileen de Villa. And I was arrested when I entered my building against their wishes, and I was charged with trespassing on my own property.
My goodness. And again, I'm sure many of our viewers remember seeing that image. It's seared in my mind. Were you surprised that you were arrested?
No, I knew that I was going to be arrested that day.
But like stepping back for a bit, you're a business owner, you're just trying to, did you ever think that you'd be arrested for running a business in Ontario?
Well, on the second day, I certainly didn't think so. I was under the impression that these were all provincial charges, which I could fight in court. And it wasn't until the third day, when my building was what I consider unlawfully seized by the Minister of Health without a court order, that's when those were escalated to criminal charges so that I could be arrested. But until then, there was no legal ratification for me being arrested.
And you never sought out or ever thought, growing up, hey, I'm going to be the poster boy for like civil disobedience in Ontario?
No, not at all. I just wanted to cook barbecue, serve people. That was a big passion of mine. It was my life's work putting these restaurants together, and that's all we wanted to do. I just wanted to grill.
Wow. Chris, how did you become involved? Did you meet Adam at the time he was arrested, or how did you become involved?
Yeah, that's also a good question. A lot of people just assume I was there, and I had certainly plenty of friends there at what we called the Barbecue Rebellion. I did not attend. I was supposed to attend, I guess on the last day, and it didn't happen. So I didn't meet Adam at that time. I met him virtually right at the beginning of January of 2021. And it was a mutual friend, Vlad Sobolev, for Hugs Over Masks, and We Are All Essential. He was the one who introduced us through a video conference, and then Adam and I talked for about 2 hours right after that call. And so Adam wanted me involved simply because I was telling him things that he hadn't heard from anyone else. And one of the things that I said back then, and
Actually, I'm going to pause you there because, Chris, we're going to have to cut to commercial break, but I want you to walk us through how your involvement helped or maybe even hindered this case. We'll find out. We'll be right back.